Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Rocco, and today I'm here with some Black Ops 1 gameplay, but most notably, this is my first commentary video. I really don't know how these are supposed to go. I haven't really watched too many. I haven't done my research on how they're supposed to go or anything like that, so I'm just kind of winging it a little bit. But I figured I needed to say some sort of commentary off of Twitch because, well, I don't know if you guys are like this, but I'm pretty one-track minded, so I'm explaining a lot of things, and then when I get into a gunfight or anything like that, I tend to stop like this. And then when I'm not in the gunfight again, I can speak again. I don't want to do that, so that's why I decided to go with the commentary video like this. And I thought I was going to do something about like who I am, why I'm partnered on Twitch, why I started streaming, and all that stuff. But really, I think the best thing to talk about is why Black Ops 1? It's 2022, for crying out loud. Why am I still playing Black Ops 1? Well, I think the easy response here is I do play the new games, but have you seen these new games? Have you played these new games? They're not very good, are they? And I do feel like there is a sense of blame to be shared all around. Obviously with publishers and developers who make these games, but also with us as gamers. We don't stick with the classics like this. When there's nothing else to play, we kind of just drift off and just lament about the days of yore and how we can't revisit them again. But when I started streaming, I wanted to go back to the classics and kind of show people that you can still play these games. And with Black Ops 1, out of all the other games, and I'll explain later on, but it's the easiest out of the older Call of Duties to get lobbies in on a consistent basis, and safely so. And I think that's safely so is a very important term if for anybody who's played these older games recently. But also, it's nice to kind of revisit these games and not have any nostalgia goggles for Black Ops 1 or MW2, or, you can't really play Call of Duty 4 too much these days on PC, but, you can appreciate them for what they are and not what you remember them as. And over the years, compared with when this game first came out, because when this game first came out, I was pretty ho-hum about it. Like, it was serviceable. It was an alright game, but it wasn't anything compared with Call of Duty 4 or MW2. It was lackluster compared with those two games, but those two games are amazing. But I think over the years, because of just how poor the quality is in these newer first-person shooters, everything from Warzone to Vanguard, Cold War, MW 2019, and even in Battlefield with Battlefield 5 and Battlefield 2042, and even the newer Halo games, they're just not very interesting, and none of them are really any good, are they? And so it's really nice to be able to go back and play these older games, but I would argue Black Ops 1 does simple better and more consistently than any of the newer games today. And one can argue that maybe the graphics that you see here are just as good anyway. And so maybe, hopefully, this will inspire a couple people to get on Black Ops 1, despite how expensive it is. It is an expensive game on Steam, at least. I would like to take a look at this game on Xbox 360. The problem is, though, that I don't have a 360, but I want to play the DLC maps. And with this game, you can't really play the DLC maps. Nobody buys them. If a server does run them, and they do have players on them, they are on tactical crouch servers, and this isn't the video for me to go on my soapbox and channel my inner angry video game nerd and tell people, you know what's bullshit? Tactical crouch servers. I don't want to do that.
Care package ready for direction. Show us where you want it.
I want to speak about how Black Ops 1 is in 2022, how you can still get games in today and regular games, and what you can expect with this game moving forward should you choose to get in these games. As you can see there, I am also not the best player in the world, as I gave up a chopper gunner right there out of a care package. But that's okay. The number one thing I should say, besides the fact that there are a disproportionate amount of tactical crouch servers and hardcore capture the flag servers, there are a couple of regular lobbies like this one where you can just get ground war style team deathmatch games with normal damage values and just play the game that, at least I feel, the game's meant to be played, instead of trying to turn Call of Duty into something it's not, like a Rainbow Six Siege clone. But in order to get these games, you have to play on European servers. If you're in Europe, that's great. I'm happy for you. So if you're German or you're French, you live in the UK, or if you're like me and you somehow find yourself in Denmark again, then you're set. And you can get a really, really, really good experience. And you can play Black Ops 1 pretty much every evening. No problem. And not only that, but as you can see from, well, not just this match, but for any of the matches in this video, the player base is surprisingly average. I do have people that come in my chat on Twitch and they ask me, hey, I want to play Black Ops 1 or I want to play some of these older games, but I don't want to get stomped on because a lot of you guys haven't ever stopped playing. And that's not true. I stopped playing this game a while back. I'd say, 6 months after this game dropped. And then 2017, I think it picked the game up again. And that was when they still had not European lobbies, but US lobbies. BIA, if you guys remember that, if you guys played Black Ops 1 on PC, BIA was the server clan that ran not one but two maps, or not two maps, but two servers. And, well, the less said about that, the better, because they're not around anymore through their own volition, really. And it's kind of a shame because you have to suffer with these pings, as you see right there. There's a lot of people with double-digit ping, and that's acceptable, and I've got 150 ping, and that's not very enjoyable at times. But you take what you can get, and just going back with these newer games and considering just how bad the hit rag is in those games, and sometimes you're just blatantly shooting through opponents, and that's on quote-unquote 48, 49 ping. This is at least the same experience, if not better, depending on how well the servers act up and if they're cooperative with me as a North American, you know. So if you're in the US or Canada or Mexico, yeah, see, I knew he was going to come. That's why I waited right there. So you can still get games in, as you can see. And you can get games in with a surprisingly average player base. And I mean that in the best possible way, too, because it's a welcoming player base. Some people would be pretty salty, and I've certainly had my accusations. Even in 2022, I've had my accusations. But what I mean by welcoming is that you're not going to be forced to use meta all the time. You know, I mean, look at me. I'm using a silenced Uzi and a stakeout, for crying out loud. And I do that multiple times in multiple matches in this particular commentary video. So if I can do this, you guys can too. Seriously, look at that guy. You know, but he's just there to have fun, just like anybody else. He's doing the right thing. I'd rather be playing Black Ops 1 than Vanguard 10 times out of 10. What about you guys? But as I said, the base maps are what's available. A large part of it is because I do believe, not on sale, this game is 40 bucks. On Steam, this game's 20 bucks on sale. So usually it's reduced by 50% off, which is great. But at the same time, then you gotta buy the DLC, and the DLC is 15 bucks a piece for what, like 3 maps and some zombies maps. I think there's 3 DLC map packs that include multiplayer maps, and I think the 4th one was zombie maps only. I'll have to look that up. I think I'm remembering right though, but there's no DLC maps in any of the map rotations on the normal games. The only times in which you see maps like Stadium and infamously Berlin Wall or Kowloon is on those same Tactical Crouch servers, and I'm not playing Tactical Crouch, guys. I'm sorry. But if I want to show the DLC maps to like viewership who just want to remember the old maps back when it was kind of the thing to do, then I would play Combat Training and then just play that a little bit. So, but yeah, that's Black Ops 1 in 2022. It's not a particularly difficult game to get into even these days, and if you live in Europe, you should be able to get some good games in. So I'd highly recommend it if you guys are looking to play something that's actually playable. Because I feel ya. I've been pretty frustrated with some of these newer games too, and it's pretty shameful to see some of these games released the way that they are in these recent times. So, but with that being said, the elephant in the room in terms of playing old games like this is that the player base is what it used to be. And you do have to take that into account, and I do, and that affects my playstyle quite a lot. So as you guys can see, I mean, I'm showing off the Uzi, I'm showing off the stakeout in this video. I'll play some other guns, like the Kypris. I'll use the M14, I'll use the Spectre and the MPL quite a lot. I think I see someone coming right here. He's getting pretty slow. Oh, he dipped out, and then he just Brentised in view. Yeah, that guy is, you'll get people like that. And on this particular server, if you can believe it, I am a moderator. I'm a senior admin. And I think that's a good indicator to kind of talk about how you have to appreciate the people that are playing the game. Because, yeah, I mean, people like that are ruining the game with their absolutely awful internet, but you want to encourage them to play this game. Because it's not like the old days, and I'll say this again later on, but it's not like the old days where you can play Black Ops 1, and if someone leaves, someone comes in super quickly because someone's already in queue or something like that. There's just not a lot of people playing this game these days, and so you have to appreciate the people that are in the game here. And when I'm a moderator, I do try to treat people with kid gloves because I do appreciate the fact that they are playing Black Ops 1. Even if they have subpar connections, or even if they are using a very lame meta setup, Ghost FAMAS, Ghost AUG, hiding in a corner, that kind of stuff. It's not the most enjoyable experience to play, but eventually, because they're a body in the lobby, people will see it's a full lobby, and they'll get more people in the lobby even after that. So this is one of the 2 reliable lobbies here. This is Anarchy. The other one being PSN, Power Spraying Noobs. Both of them would be in continental Europe. And that's the stakeout right there, chat. Hey, but it's okay. I've got nothing left to prove, and I think that's the mentality that I've got to use more. Sometimes I do get frustrated when it comes to playing some of these matches, Nobody likes going negative, and with me in particular, I don't like it when I go negative, and I don't really like it when I have teammates all go negative, like in this match as well too. But as I'm getting older, and hopefully as I'm maturing a little bit more, and I see the rankings right there, you have to give an understanding that these people are just trying to get used to the game again, and they also don't have a lot of the unlocks, and especially the pro perks that a lot of us have. So you have to give them a little bit of leeway. And they are playing Black Ops 1. But I have nothing left to prove, and I wish that more people would be like that. And even I, to an extent, can learn a little bit from that mentality. Because I've been in lobbies where people have really tried to try hard, and even I did that in like 2017, where I wanted to get used to the game, and I remember, oh yeah, I remember Ghost FAMAS. Let's use Ghost FAMAS with Blackbird, Chopper, Gunner, Dogs. And I did that, and I would get super good scores, and the chat would love it, but then I'd have no more game to play. Because even back then, VIA was pretty much the only server around, and I'd kill the server out. And that's no fun, because I don't have anybody else to play against anymore. People quit out. They don't want to get stomped. So, instead, I don't really like sticking with meta in this game. And even when I was doing meta stuff like Blackbird, Chopper, Gunner, Dogs, I would try to avoid Ghost FAMAS, but yeah, now I really have to stay away from it because, as I found out, people are always judging you. If you use Ghost FAMAS once, you'll never live it down. At least me. But anyway, as you can see, you can get away with non-meta setups. And so what I usually like to do is Flak Jacket and Tac Mask. That's obviously a really good combo. I would say it's not exactly a top-tier combo, but it's an A-tier combo. You can resist explosions, and you can resist stuns like this right here. The only pain in the ass part is getting Tac Mask Pro. That's where it becomes incredibly useful. And of course, it can be a pretty painful process to get Tac Mask Pro, but it's worth it at the end, and it's not impossible. Unlike some of the pro perks in the game where you have to play Capture the Flag or Demolition or something like that. But I typically like to run with SMGs. Obviously, as you can see right here, with the Uzi, I like the Spectre, MPL. Pretty much any SMG in the game I'm pretty down with. It allows me to rush down and just hip fire. I'm known as a hip fire god. I say that tongue-in-cheek because people want me to ADS sometimes, but why would you? Look at that! Look at that iron sight! It's just as bad as you remember it over 10 years ago. It's really bad. Why would you ADS with the Uzi? So, and I also like using the Scorpion. The Scorpion is pretty much the epitome of how I feel about Black Ops 1, because when I first played Black Ops 1, I didn't really appreciate the depth that this game had. Some people say that, oh, there's just a couple of guns, but there's weapon reskins and all that stuff, but the Scorpion's awesome. I love the Scorpion a whole lot. It's one of the most unique and coolest weapons in Call of Duty history. I really loved it. And to this day, I still roll with it, and I'll probably post videos about it and all that stuff, but just giving some semblance of variety, especially when I'm in Denmark and I can get some better hit reg. I can use RPK with a thermal scope, or, you know, I can use the Enfield with the ACOG, or, you know, something like that. Just something to mix it up and be different, and to kind of show a bit more variety that the game has. And it keeps the game fresh, and it keeps the game feeling more alive, both to you, the viewer, and to me as the player. Well, why would you not want variety? And again, like, there's nothing left to prove. I mean, the game's literally more than 10 years old. Everybody worth killing and making a point against has literally moved on to other games. So just play the game and have fun. And even if there are other people playing the game, who cares? As long as you're a body in the game, that's what matters to me. So. The kill streaks reflect this as well. The kill streak setup that I almost always use, and it's pretty foolproof for these reasons. Counter UAV, care package, and rolling thunder. That's not by accident, that's by design, all three of them. The counter UAV is probably the most important kill streak out of the bunch. And a massive reason why is because of the Blackbird. Blackbird is easily the most broken, well, one of the most broken kill streaks in Call of Duty history. It's the second most broken kill streak in COD history after the orbital VSAT, for reasons that I can go into in a later video, but they both function the same way, in the sense that they're legal wall hacks, and it's incredibly difficult to avoid. You can't hide from it using Ghost, and it's really difficult to play against, no matter what era you play in. And so what I like to do is use not one, but two counter UAVs. I think Blackbirds last like 45 seconds and counter UAVs last 30. So I like to pocket two counter UAVs, and especially if you use something like Hardline, where counter UAVs are like 3 kills. That's so useful, because you can just pocket several counter UAVs and completely cuck people, to the point where back in the day, during this game's heyday, I would get hate mail from people because I would literally call in 4 counter UAVs. They'd be rolling in a party, you'd have the main sweat and the support sweats, and the support sweats would shoot down the counter UAV only for me to call another one in. So it's incredibly useful. If I'm rolling in loud too, and because I do like to rush down and be pretty knee deep in enemy bases, if they call in a UAV, I'll call in a counter UAV. If I'm rolling with a loud gun like this one, I'll call in a counter UAV if I'm feeling pretty comfortable with doing that. But it's such a versatile kill streak, and I would argue it's the best kill streak outside of the meta, the Blackbird, Chopper Gunner, Dogs, all that stuff. But the care package is what I roll with next, and that's for variety's sake, just keeping with the variety theme. What I like to do in Black Ops 1 is showcase everything the game has to offer. And the care package does that and then some, because not only can you unlock every kill streak in the game out of the care package, but it even has kill streaks that aren't otherwise available to you to select. And I'm talking about, of course, the Grim Reaper and the Death Machine. The Death Machine is gorgeous. It is one of my favorite kill streaks in Call of Duty history. It's so fun. In a way, I'm kind of glad that you can't select it, because if it was, it would probably be meta. You're literally a walking chopper gunner, but you can't be shot down. You use the same gun, and so, shoot, I mean, what I would do is I'll grab it, and if there's a lot of time in the match, you see there's the Blackbird, and I wouldn't have known that guy was there unless the Blackbird was available. Look at it, it's legal wall hacks. You can't run with Blackbirds. There's no way. So I try to avoid Blackbirds when I can, because again, I'd be killing the lobbies if I used it all the time. But even then, with the Death Machine, if I go on Death Machine runs, people will think I cheat. But it's the Death Machine, for crying out loud. It's so fun. I can't rave enough about how fun the Death Machine is. I'll post videos of it as time goes by, I suppose. But as you can see right there, the last kill streak I roll with is the Rolling Thunder. And the Rolling Thunder I use not necessarily because it's a bad kill streak. As you can see, it's a pretty good kill streak. But it's not the Blackbird. And the reason why people never used the Rolling Thunder was that you had to choose one over the other, right? It was either Blackbird or Rolling Thunder, and you're just going to be using legal wall hacks, aren't you? So that's why I use the Rolling Thunder. It's nice to get some kill feeds as well, too. And it's a pretty fun kill streak to use. It's a boomer bust kill streak, though, for sure. Kind of like this shotgun here, this stakeout. Look at it go. Don't worry, it'll fail me later on, toward the end. But these guys are getting kind of farmed. But right now, they're getting one pumped. I like it. But I'll go into it in a later video. However, Black Ops 1, out of all the classic Call of Duties that I used to play anyway, from Black Ops 1 to World at War, COD 4, MW2, this one is probably the last one left standing. It's the easiest game to play. That's base, that you can get some pretty decent games in. And as you can see, there's no skill-based matchmaking. There's no skill-based team balancing, as you can tell from the scoreboards. You join a server and you're in. And you just play, just like the old days. And this game's still a lot of fun. So I'm pretty happy to be playing this game in 2022. I hope to post many more videos on Black Ops 1. At the very least, I'd like to post videos regarding the base maps. If I can get away with doing any DLC maps, say on the 360, I will do that. However, I wouldn't hold my breath on that. But yeah, Black Ops 1 is the one game that you can go back and play and not be unbelievably frustrated with just the state of first-person shooters. Yeah, as you can see, that second shot especially. That's the stakeout I remember. But anyway, I suppose that's going to do it for me. That's why I play Black Ops 1 these days. So, if you guys enjoyed this video, and you guys enjoy seeing Black Ops 1, please feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Otherwise, you can take a look at my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/RoccoBonaro, and you can take a look at everything I have to offer there. Thanks a lot for hanging out with me. Take care, people. Peace out and adios.